Right when things start going well, the business scales, the promotion lands, the dream finally moves within reach, something strange happens. You become your own worst enemy. It looks like self sabotage, but it's actually a survival instinct that hasn't been updated in millions of years.
1692, Salem, Massachusetts. A village is tearing itself apart. Look past the hysteria and the politics to the actual people being accused, and a pattern emerges. It's the woman who owns land in her own name, the healer, the one who refuses to conform. Anyone who stands just a little too far outside what the community defines as normal. Take Bridget Bishop. She was the first person executed in the Salem trials. She'd been married 3 times, ran her own tavern, wore unusual clothing, and had the audacity to maintain her opinions in public. She wasn't dangerous. She was just visibly, unapologetically herself, and that was enough. The people in Salem weren't targeted despite being different. They were targeted for it. And the village watched, and the village learned. Keep your head down. Don't attract attention. Blend. That lesson didn't stay in Salem. It traveled, hardened into reflex, and became the quiet architecture of how societies taught people to survive. You can still hear it today. Don't show off. Don't get too big for your boots. Who do you think you are?
This is why, when you start building a life that looks noticeably different, more success, more influence, more visibility, something quiet pushes back. It's not exactly doubt, it's a low hum of wrongness that arrives without explanation and sits just beneath the surface of every big decision. There's a name for the modern expression of this: tall poppy syndrome. Cut down the tallest flower so the field stays even. It sounds like a quaint metaphor until you felt it. That barely perceptible cool shift in energy when someone in your circle starts pulling ahead. The joke that lands a little too pointedly. The friend who's suddenly busy when your news is good. But the more insidious version isn't what others do to you. It's what you do to yourself, preemptively. You learn to edit your wins before sharing them. You downplay the promotion. You laugh off the milestone. You make yourself smaller in the room before anyone else gets the chance to do it for you. Research shows we feel genuine social pressure to keep the group dynamic level. When you try to build something new, you face a painful internal split. Part of you wants expansion. Another part is frantically calculating the social cost. Which friendships will quietly recede? Which family members will grow uncomfortable? Which version of yourself you'll have to leave behind?
This is why self-sabotage hits right at the point of momentum. Not when things are hard, when they start working. I know a consultant who spent 3 years building her firm. The moment it truly scaled, real revenue, real traction, she became inexplicably hard to reach. Missed her own deadlines, picked fights with her best partners. From the outside, it looked like self-destruction. From the inside, she was hiding. The success had become the signal of danger, and her brain was trying to drag her back to the safety of the struggle. The turning point came when she stopped asking, "What's wrong with me?" and started asking, "What is this protecting me from?" That single shift in question changed everything. She didn't fix the fear, she understood it. And understanding it gave her back her choice.
Now, this isn't a character flaw, it's identity doing exactly what it was built to do. The brain has a deep preference for the familiar. If your internal story has always been about the underdog, sudden success feels like a glitch. Your brain is like a GPS that hasn't been updated since 1692, screaming, "Danger, cliff ahead," while you're standing on a paved road. The work isn't just about wanting the new life, it's about proving to your nervous system that being the tall poppy won't get you cut down anymore.
Understanding this history is what removes the shame from the hesitation. When you're on the edge of a breakthrough and you keep pulling back, you aren't being weak or undisciplined. You're responding to a survival program that was trained into human psychology across centuries of genuine consequence. Naming that origin changes your relationship to the fear. It's not a sign to stop. It's old code running in a world it was never designed for.
You can shift this by redefining what visibility actually means. It was never inherently dangerous, it just became associated with danger. Look at Florence Nightingale. She didn't seek a platform for the sake of being seen. She solved a problem so urgent it demanded visibility. She walked into the most hostile environments imaginable, not to be noticed, but because the work required her presence. And in doing so, she changed the entire field of modern medicine. When your expression is about contribution, solving something real, creating genuine value, your mind stops reading exposure as threat and starts reading it as usefulness. Being seen stops feeling like a target on your back and starts feeling like natural result of the work that matters.
The community you build around you does the same quiet work. When the people closest to you expect growth, celebrate it, and model it themselves, your nervous system finally gets the update it needs. Lived evidence that standing out no longer precedes punishment. You're not just thinking positively, you're changing the data that your subconscious draws on when it decides what's safe.
Every genuine expansion of identity moves through instability first. The old frame has to loosen before the new one can hold. That discomfort right on the verge of a new level isn't a sign something is wrong. It's what growth feels like before it resolves. Your task isn't to eliminate the feeling, it's to recognize it accurately so you stop treating a necessary update as a reason to retreat.
When you hold all of this together, Salem, tall poppy, the way identity fights to protect itself, the resistance begins to make a different kind of sense. Your subconscious isn't trying to sabotage your life. It's trying to protect you using rules written for a world where standing out carried real consequences. The strange moment when you seem to become your own worst enemy is often just an ancient safety system misfiring in a completely different era.
The hesitation you feel at the edge of something bigger is an historical artifact. The ghost of a world where visibility was genuinely costly, still running its code in a nervous system that has long since outgrown the need for it. Once you see it for what it is, its grip loosens almost immediately. The ancient warning finally gets to rest. And what's left, underneath all that inherited caution, is simply you moving forward without the weight of someone else's fear. Alignment replaces caution. Contribution replaces fear. Presence replaces performance. And that's when things begin to move.
If this conversation resonated with you, there are many others here exploring these ideas and thinking about reality in similar ways. You're very welcome to join that conversation by subscribing, liking the episode, or sharing it with someone who enjoys questioning how things really work. Until next time, think differently, dream boldly, and create consciously.